Hello and welcome to the Spiritual Solopreneur podcast. Today I'd like to welcome back to the podcast Meena Jagpal-Pare. Meena is a classical Feng Shui master, energy clearing guide, manifestation coach, spiritual mentor, and a professional speaker. She works with people in person locally and virtually around the globe who want to unlock their greatest potential, dramatically uplevel their lives, and manifest their greatest dreams. Hi, Meena.
Hi, nice to see you again, Bev.
Nice to see you. Thanks for coming back. How have you been? You've been busy, right?
Yes, it's that time of the year.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. We're into December right now.
So, yeah, we're into December, so let's focus on what we want to manifest in the coming year.
Exactly. You got it. Well, last time we talked mostly about feng shui and classical feng shui, and we'll do a bit more of that later. But for the most part, we're going to delve into your work as a manifestation coach. Um, I recently discovered that the Cambridge Dictionary has named its word of the year for 2024 manifest or manifesting, like the verb to manifest, which I thought was pretty interesting and indicates, a certain acceptance of these things is starting to be pretty mainstream if the dictionary now is showing it. But the definition that it gave for to manifest is to imagine achieving something you want in the belief that doing so will make it more likely to happen. To imagine achieving something you want in the belief that doing so will make it more likely to happen. What do you think of that definition?
If
Is it
it was
ac-
up to me, it'd be, and in doing so, making it happen.
Ah, there you go. That was just missing that piece.
When my support staff sometimes assist with my content creation, sometimes they use the word may or it can, and I'm big on removing that. Let's go forward full force. Let's tell the universe what we need, and with the belief that it's on its way. There is no may or can or in my world.
Exactly. Well, I've even heard that I think people get a little bit stuck on how to ask the universe for these things or tell the universe or whichever it is. And so do we sort of word it in a way that we already have it, or we're asking? Because I've heard, you hear ask and it is given, but then you hear appear as though you already have it, feel as though you already have it,
Well, if
which,
somebody's not comfortable with it, if they're starting manifesting 101 and they're in the asking mode, it's okay. It's better than not asking and staying in the lack. But if they're already, on board with it, it's not a foreign word to them anymore, then go forward. And when I do energy clearing in feng shui, part of it, what I do is as I'm creating empty pockets in the spaces, I get the clients to sit down, ground their energy, envision 6 months forward. Right now, all the consultations I have, they're focusing in June of 2025, as if they're waking up one morning and everything their heart desires in the quality of their life has already happened.
exactly.
Yes, if visualizing it as if it's already happened, because what happens at that point, we're not in the state of asking anymore. All we're doing is expressing gratitude, and then that's what gets embedded.
Right. I guess for some people they're just not quite there yet. And it's feels difficult to imagine that these things have already happened when you subconsciously don't really think it could. You know?
Yes. Well, that's a shift. That definitely is where it needs to start. And everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's on their own journey. We're just walking each other home. So I don't push anybody on my questionnaires. It's the same thing. I ask them for their awareness of feng shui, their awareness of manifestation, and I guide them from there. When people are already curious about it, they're halfway on board already. But how far along are they on their journey? It's important. It's like when we start school, we start at kindergarten. We don't just jump into grade 10 or university, but then we all eventually get there. If we have the desire, it's the same thing. Manifestation is a belief, manifestation is a process, and wherever people are, tomorrow's another day to strengthen that belief system.
Exactly. And it is a process. So what's the process?
The process is basically where we started the conversation from. Having the belief that what our heart desires is possible. And I'm big on this next thing, Bev, is whether it's the tools in feng shui, Meena said put a water fountain here or this, or whether it's something we want to manifest. These are the tools, and I'm a guide. Having said that, I always say 50% of it is the intention. Are they going to believe it wholeheartedly? Are they ready to manifest? And I've shared this in the past before too with clients, is people charge $5,000 a weekend to teach the same thing that somebody can learn on their own. It's the belief system or knowing it's possible, having faith in it, and the rest is envisioning it. Envisioning it, I guide my clients 5 minutes a day in the morning and five at night. That sweet spot of when you're waking up and the last thought as you're going to sleep, because that's what's going to brew for the next 8 hours while we're sleeping.
Is it important to have sort of one thing in mind, like whether it's a new car or a new house or I want to be successful in my business, which is a little more vague.
Why one thing? It's a quality of life you're manifesting. Manifest to your heart's desire. It's the quality of life. Now, what does that entail? It's the career, it's the children succeeding, it's your health, it's a relationship, it's a new house, it's a next vacation. Quality of life. There's 9 areas in feng shui, all of those are in there, and we strengthen all of them.
Okay. And is it important to sort of visualize every detail, like I've heard?
Years ago, this is about 15 years ago, when we didn't turn to Google, I remember having an Oprah magazine, the O magazine, and in there she had talked about one of the clients. She was an elderly lady and she lost her partner, but before that, she had manifested him for the past 20 years or something. And the way she wrote the article, and this is before I trained in Feng Shui, this is before I was teaching manifestation. She said she had even written down the details of the color of his socks he was going to be wearing, the color of his car, what he had, and she manifested it fully. And back then and even now, if Oprah endorses something, they're going to research all the details. So I'm trying to just elaborate and giving an example, as in manifest to add as much detail as possible. Why not? They say the more specific you are, the more clear it is. It's like if you're giving somebody directions to come to your house, as an example, it's just coming to me, so I'll use that. You don't just say, well, come to Langley or White Rock. You will then say, okay, this is the address, this is the street, and by the way, if you don't have Google, take a right here and take a left there. The person will arrive, no problem. The universe needs you to give the universe more direction so it can deliver to you fully.
And what about the feeling part? Um, how important is that? I can write down all the details, but do I not need to feel how that's going to make me feel?
Yeah, that is the key. That's the key. We always say feel the feel. When I teach my vision board courses, feel the feel. It's so important. Like you said, details are good. Details will keep you on board as to what is it that you want to envision. But I call it envisioning. As if it's already happened. Well, as if it's already happened, you're waking up one morning 6 months from now. In the world of manifestation, we work in 6 months to a year increment, but 6 months to keep it more relatable. Not tomorrow, because the universe needs to do its magic, and not 5 years from now. It's too far in the future. So when you envision you're waking up in June, July of next year, 6 months from now, what does it feel like? What is your ideal life? What does your health look like? Where are you going? Who's around you? Where are you? That's what you're doing. You're feeling.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So we have, let's say, doing this process, I've figured out what I want. I've gotten all the details going. I'm imagining how it's going to feel. Where's my part? What are there steps for me to take? There's got to be to make this happen. I would think what's the vehicle?
The
To me,
vehicle
there
is
has to
the
be a
vision board.
conduit of somehow, some kind.
Yes, yes, no, that's the next step. Naturally, the more, if you want to get from here to there, you need a vehicle to go, from point A to point B, and the same thing applies in this case. And that is in my practice, it's a feng shui vision board. I have created a vision board that is feng shui endorsed. It is outlining all 9 areas of life sector. It starts with the Northeast being meditation, grounding. We always start at that because you first need to ground your energy. How is the quality of your life? Then there's a place for family and community. Family is extended family, not children. That's coming up in another area. Extended family, siblings, community, soul sisterhood, empowering. Sometimes it's more supportive to us than our own family. Then there's an area for prosperity, wealth, not to just invite it in, but to retain the savings. Then there's an area that is fame and reputation. How are we perceived in the world? How are we acknowledged? Then there's love and relationship. If somebody's single, it's a slightly different manifestation to invite in a new loving relationship. And if somebody's in a relationship, to strengthen it. And then there is the West, which has four properties: children. If somebody has children, it doesn't matter how old. It could be a 70-year-old person and their 40-year-old children. Children has its own area in Feng Shui vision board. And inner child. Inner child is so important, to be spontaneous and bubbly and alive instead of just going with the flow as the world dictates to us. There's an area for creativity and new beginning. All four of those are in one area. Then there's an area for travel. Of course, travel is self-explanatory. We used to travel, we've started traveling again, but helpful people is in that area. Helpful people, I love endorsing. When I get to that part of the vision board, sometimes my assistant has to tell me, okay, Meena, moving along, because I get very passionate about that. You see, we strategize life. We work this many hours, we'll get this much. We'll make this many sales call, we'll make this much.
Hmm.
But helpful people is a blessing, not a strategy. And
Hmm.
there's an area for that. Who's going to give us the next lead? Right now, we're sitting here. I don't know who's talking about momentum feng shui out there endorsing me. It's just such a blessing, and I love endorsing it, enhancing it. Then there's the next one, which is very important. Again, they're all important, but the next one is, and I always say the feng shui gods 5,000 years ago decided to put them together. It's career and quality of life all in one. Because as you see, they feed each other.
Yeah.
If we're content in our career, well, life's ups and downs will happen and we're not so swayed. And then if we're grounded in our quality of life, career shifts can happen, and we're like, okay, we're good. We look at it in a more positive way, so they go together. And then the center of the vision board is health and self-love. Of course, self-explanatory, right? Why? Because it all starts with us. And so those are the 9 areas on the feng shui vision board. And we apply the 33% rule. I guide my clients on that. 33% is what you cut and paste on there. What does your car look like? What does your next house look like? 30% is affirmations. And so we do, because writing has power and you can make it more personalized. And then the other 33%, we leave it up to, the person's individuality. One person may, the next job may mean this to them versus to the next person. So it's a combination of affirmations and images.
Awesome. I was just going to ask you if you believe in vision boards, but obviously you do,
Do I believe in
or
it?
if they help. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my
it's
goodness, I
it.
think
This is the
I
main
just
main
answered
course,
it.
right?
Yeah. So, Bev, next week I'm going on two radio stations, Monday and Wednesday, and one of the I was just going on one, and then all of a sudden this morning I got a call from another friend of mine, and not a friend, she's more than a friend now, but she was a client at one point. She does her vision board. She started with me doing the Feng Shui vision board, I think about 3 years ago now. Sometimes she has to do her vision board 3 times a year. Everything she puts on it keeps surfacing. And she's high up there. She's a Reiki master. She's a gut health nutritionist, a cosmetologist. Like she's high up there. Any award she puts on there, she achieves. Any product she wants to launch, she's able to. It's anything is possible when you do it with intention. So do I believe in it? I wake up to amazing messages from these clients. That's enough for me to keep doing what I'm doing, teaching them how to create them.
Of course. That's so awesome. So it's literally the vision board is is the middle piece, right? You don't, it's not like I have to, let's say I'm trying to envision, no, I'm envisioning more success in my business or a certain amount of money or whatever it is. So I don't have to, in my mind, oh, I got to be on social media more. You know, do I have to do that or let the vision board and all the energy and messages I'm putting into the universe come back and give me the direction? It may or may not be that. Is that
Okay. So, yeah, so great question, two part. We always say intention and destiny, they go hand in hand. Your part and destiny, they go hand in hand. You still have to keep doing what you're doing. But what happens is when you're envisioning something, we always say manifest it and leave it to the universe. Sometimes the how, it may surprise you. And you can listen to there's many manifesting amazing coaches. Tony Robbins is one of them. There's amazing great ones. Like I said, you can pay so much money and take their courses. But what is the core of it? The core is don't question the how. Envision it as it's in the present and don't question the how continuously. When I teach my vision board courses, I also teach them how to visit it twice a day. Continue to do that, 5 minutes in the morning, five at night. Keeping the energy clear around that, placing certain crystals around your vision board. It's all part of my course, but it's so important. The key is stay connected and don't question the how. Have faith.
interesting? That's
And still
that's
keep on doing what you're doing, as in social media or
sure.
whatever else it may be for all of us.
Well, and I guess if there's something I need to do, it'll come to me or it'll be presented to me somehow, or an opportunity will show up, that kind of thing. So
The
it
latter,
comes.
for the most part, is opportunities start to show up,
Mm,
and of course that keeps you going. Now something surfaces, you're excited, you're doing more of it, and then I call it a beautiful energetic dance. But somebody's got to take that first step. You create your vision board with intention, and I always say there's no wrong or right time to do it. But right now, with the new year around the corner, why not? And take those 2 hours, create it, make it beautiful. I always say add glitter around, and I've got a gold frame around mine, and make it yours, and fall in love with it, and envision it, and connect it. And then and regular question I get is two of them: what do I do with the old one if somebody created it? And I have a little ritual around that. But the other question, which is relevant to our conversation, is if something surfaces on there, remove it during full moon, release that it's done, and during new moon 2 weeks later, add another intention to it.
mm.
If something's already surfaced, it's already doing its job, you can remove that part and add a new intention to it. What do you want next?
Interesting. That's so cool. Is it a physical thing or a digital thing? the vision
You
board.
know, generally speaking, just like reading a book, we say that an actual creating an actual vision board is better because it's just more hands-on and you make it your own. Now you can take a screenshot of it and create it digitally and save it on your laptop and phone. You're still staying connected, but we don't feel that it replaces the actual vision board.
I mean, we cut pictures out of magazines and stuff like that. That's what
Pictures
I
out of a
did.
magazine now, used to be. You can still do that, but then your options are limited. So then, nowadays you go online and create and find the perfect image that resonates with you. You can take your own photos, and of course, in 9 areas, I guide the clients on what to put there in the children area or self-love area or career area. But you can take your photos and then you can send them all off to London Drugs or wherever they may, Staples,
Right.
and they print it for you. It's very economical. For $10 you can end up with 40, 50 of your own personal. It's again when you're visiting it next morning, the morning after, the you 6 months after, you need to really resonate with those images. And if it's not something that you just found on a magazine that you're like, well, yeah, but I wish it was this color, I wish I was in Hawaii versus there, then you're not connecting to it as much.
Exactly. Do you need to be in a meditative state to do this connecting, or is it just kind of,
Yeah, you do. You do.
yeah,
The more
yeah,
grounded you are, again, literally, it's 5 minutes. It's five
yeah,
minutes. Of course, people can make it longer, but that's something I teach in the course as well. It's just envisioning yourself empowered with white light and whatever else they may be. If somebody has a religious component to it, add it on. Just whatever takes you to that connected mode for a few minutes a day.
exactly. That's so awesome. And I'm really like that it's the feng shui areas. I mean, that gives you a place to start. It gives somebody a place to start, right? You
So
got all
back in
these
the
areas
day,
defined already.
yeah, so back in the day, Bev, Vision Board, I mean, they've been around forever, and obviously they're working if they're still around. But people, generally speaking, they would create, just cut and paste a whole bunch of images and put that on there in their dream car and whatever else
That's
they
the one
might
I have.
desire, the trip or something, right?
Hmm.
Or a job. But it was all over the place. Now, how does energy know where to focus? So the Feng Shui vision board that I've taken it to the next level now combines each area has its own focus. You're just focusing on family, you're just focusing on savings, you're focusing on health. And so when you're at that sector for 30 seconds, the subconscious mind knows to give 100% of it to that sector. And if it works for feng shui, it works for vision board. This is
Yeah.
my fifth year teaching it, and I used to teach it twice a year, but now I've just narrowed it down to once a year because I truly feel I've connected to the universe, and I said whoever's meant to receive will benefit from it in January, and yeah, it just is the way it is, and my clients see amazing results. So I feel the difference with that is the intention in each of the 9 areas.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose, that you could kind of work the feng shui too, within your space, within your physical space to reinforce it even more.
Yeah, that's the core of it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
hmm
awesome. Is there any limit to what you can manifest? Is there any limit?
Okay, so as an example, in one of the areas where it's wealth, prosperity, and abundance sector, people back in the day, 20 years ago, when the movie Secret came out, I think 25 years ago now, they used to talk about a check from the universe, and we're like, okay, if that's what's calling you, sure, add the check from the universe and fill in an amount. Now, at that point, we say, don't stay realistic, but don't limit yourself. What does that mean? That means that you don't have to just put $500 because really there's no other way that I can even make any more other than if I get a little bit of commission or something. So it'll only be about $500. No, that remember I said earlier, it's not the how. So don't focus on how it's coming to you. Now are you going to say I want $1 billion? That's what I mean. Stay realistic. but don't put a limit to it.
Exactly. Do you
Mhm.
feel that, I think a lot of people think that they, what they want to manifest is whatever their purpose is, whatever their purpose in life is, but sometimes they don't know what that is. Do you think that that our purpose in life is predetermined pre-birth and, there's no changing it?
That's more a question for an astrologer or a
Mm,
numerologist. In the world of manifestation, we don't question it to that extent. If your heart desires something, connect with it, do your part, manifest it, and most importantly, renew that intention every day, and the universe will find a way to deliver it to you.
exactly. And
Mhm.
I imagine it's quite likely that if you're not meant to have something, because you decided pre-birth, it won't come to you.
Yeah, and this is where the universe does its part. Our part is in the asking. And if you surrender, surrender is a beautiful word, and
Mm,
surrender in a positive way, not in a victim mentality. So if you surrender and ask the universe what you want and say, and for the higher good of everybody at the end, then you will only receive what's meant to be yours.
hmm. Beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, I'm fascinated by this vision board idea, and I think you have a special offer going with the vision board right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would love to. There's a discount code that my assistants created, and for my radio show coming up on Monday, and I would love to offer your viewers the same one. So first of all, as I briefly mentioned before, I have a Feng Shui vision board course. I believe yes, it's on Sunday, January 12th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vancouver time. And it is something that I teach every year. And I used to teach it in January, September. Now it's January. And there's a discount code that is Manifest 2025. So
Cool.
yeah, if you can share the link,
I
Bev,
will.
that would be the code. They get a discount for being one of your listeners. We've got over the 5 years, I don't know, over 100 reviews just on the vision board alone of people. One of the ones I'll share with you briefly, I did a meditation course last year, and one of my clients came, previous clients came, and she brought her daughter with her, and the daughter was about 17, 18, and all of a sudden they're going around saying, okay, who do you know here? And the mother said, I know Meena. And then the daughter's turn came, and she said, Meena, you haven't met me, but I just want to say my mom did the vision board course with you last year. She said not only was the mom able to manifest the actual job with the actual company in downtown Vancouver, but even her boss, even the manager or the boss that she put on the vision board looked like that with the beard. And this is the daughter sharing. Of course, I wake up to, like, what people are able to manifest, and they're always grateful. And of course, I release it to the universe saying thank you for another validation, and gives me the fuel to keep doing what I'm doing. But when I hear these are unique to their scenarios, but there's so much power in these feng
Mm,
shui vision boards. Yeah.
exactly. This is obviously your calling.
I feel that, Bev. I do.
Yeah. You probably decided you were going to do something along this line before you came down here, as it were.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I did. But all I know is I'm doing my 100% and the universe is delivering beautifully.
Beautiful. That's fantastic. Uh, just did you learn about manifestation coaching somewhere, or did you always know?
A little bit of both. Initially, it has to come from within. To me, I had a beautiful career. I think I mentioned before, I was a flight attendant for 20 years. I had a
Mm,
beautiful career. So this is not coming from a place of need that I needed to, find another job or something. Having said that, did I do my part? I did. As I said, I went to China, spent a month there learning feng shui, not just online or not the Western feng shui. I went to the roots. Then I went to Rishikesh, India, and I did my energy clearing training there. And the universe, and when you do that, when you clear the stagnant energy in a space, then you place feng shui tools to empower the homes and businesses. What is left to do? Manifest.
mm,
So it just gradually evolved to that. And then I created the Feng Shui Vision Board course because if it works for me, it's got to work for others. And now, of course, there's validation. And it was just the natural state. Then your space is ready to empower you. You place the Feng Shui tools. Well, now ask, what is it you want to receive?
exactly. You set the table.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
let's
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
have the
Now
dinner
ready to
come.
receive the guests. And yeah, yeah. And great, time after that. So yeah.
Exactly. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for all that information and that offer. Is there anything else you would like folks to know about your programs or
Not about my
manifestation in
program.
general?
I've talked enough about the program. Whoever's
Okay.
meant to receive will receive. But I just want to really express gratitude to you, Bev. You make it so easy for, I'll speak for myself, for us to deliver the message. You see, we all have our desires. We have all have our passion, but it's also how comfortable is it. So thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for opening up to the world of manifestation. I just feel like, there's enough in the news, there's enough everywhere else out there. And this is just, it doesn't take much, like I said, 5 minutes in the morning and five at night. And if somebody can turn the wheel on the quality of their life and include manifestation and envisioning and meditation in it, it's the key in my book.
Just think if everybody did that.
We're all getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there.
Well, we all have the tools. I mean, we all can, it's possible.
When it's time.
Yeah, well, thank you for your comments. They're much appreciated. Well, I think I'm going to let you go, Meena. Thank you so much for being here again. Much appreciated. And it was very eye-opening about your process and the vision board. And of course, we encourage everyone to take advantage of the discount and go for it, man.
Thank you. Happy holidays, Bev, and I
You
wish
too.
you and your listeners a beautiful upcoming 2025.
We wish that for you too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Meena.